let's talk a little bit about those Doctor Strange spoilers. So this first topic goes hand in hand with one of John's Q&A. So I'm just going to read that here and we'll talk about it more in context of the movie and the spoilers. So John asks, could Marvel allow Doctor Strange to get the Book of Ashanti and go super cosmic OP with magic to fight Kang in something like Secret Wars or something? So,
I mean, book's gone.
a book is gone, but never forget the Marvel Multiverse MacGuffin that can always appear because they can time travel. So, you could always go before it's destroyed and remove it out of its place, just like they did with the Infinity Stones, then put them back. So, they could play with it, which also brings me to talk about one of the things I want to talk about in the spoilers. I didn't notice up until Shay was like, hey, you did see that funny Evil Dead meme. I was like, yeah, Evil Dead 4. And I was like, oh my god, he literally used Marvel's version of the Necronomicon twice in that movie. Sam Raimi's literally a madman. He literally just made Evil Dead 4. What a genius.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. Yeah.
What a genius.
I haven't seen any of the Evil Deads, but I've heard that a lot, yeah.
No, it is legit because I've recently rewatched them because I love the Evil Deads and Army of the Dead. And there's legit moments like when he brings a corpse back to life in Army of the Dead, it's identical to the Doctor Strange stuff. It's honestly, it's as Raimi as I wanted that film to be, which is why I love it so much. So let's talk a little bit about some spoilers here. Where do we want to go first with this conversation? Because there's so much.
Wanda's totally innocent.
We're starting this conversation off with Wanda innocence.
I mean, you got cut off on Jared's one, so you can finish saying how you agree.
No. I was like, I'm just like, no, she's not innocent.
She's corrupted by the Book of the Damned, Tristan.
Neither is Strange. But the difference here is that one's willing to learn from their mistakes, and the other one still wants to continue to do them.
Nah, it's not a conscious choice.
I could kind of argue that she did learn by the end of the film, because obviously she sacrifices herself, because she's like, bro, my plan is...
Quote.
Like one thing you got to learn is if there's no body, they're still alive.
Yeah, exactly. Which I did appreciate at the end. She sees the suffering that she's putting the other Wanda through, and her kids being like, oh, wait, maybe kidnapping and killing the mom from another universe and taking her place is evil. Whoops. Okay. It was a pretty good character arc she went through, honestly. I've seen a lot, and I mean a lot of the dumbest hot takes on Wanda that I've ever seen.
Yeah, this movie's really turned like the brain rot up to 11.
Not only that, I've seen some takes where people were now like, she's worse than Brie Larson in real life. I'm like, bro.
Wow.
You guys have like freaking, you guys have chosen your new target. And, a lot of people are pointing out there's a lot of hypocrisy here because like people that are like, yeah, we're all about Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader redemption. They're like, Wanda bad, no matter what.
Yep.
You guys clearly don't understand film or characters, or you like Vader.
I mean, it's the same thing with Bucky, right? Bucky was literally brainwashed and killed countless people, and yet Wanda's controlled and corrupted by the first demon.
Yep.
And she's horrendously evil and it's all consciousness.
The funny thing about that is, yes, she continued to make bad choice after bad choice, but when unfortunately, Professor Xavier during that scene says that he likes that everyone can still be redeemed on some level, no matter how bad they screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout this movie, we see that she did some horrible things, but at the end, she finally realized that what she was doing and how
it's also like her. Sorry, just didn't jump in there. Like her entire arc is kind of a metaphor for like self-help in the end.
Yeah, is that you can like it's like how in the beginning where Doctor Strange made the mistake of saying that just because a person says that they're better doesn't mean that they actually are.
Yeah.
And you see that throughout the whole movie where finally she realizes that even with her extra dimensional children telling her that she became a monster when she was telling herself that she wasn't the whole entire time. She finally realized that she was doing the wrong thing, and she tried to make it right on some level.
Mm-hmm. There was definitely that arc there. It's like self-realization and stuff that I really liked. Like, I thought it was handled very well.
Yeah, it is. It's just like, because you see the both characters, Wanda and Doctor Strange, in the beginning, where
are you happy, Steven?
Well, yeah, it's just that they couldn't have what they wanted, but they were going to try, and in some instances, other versions of Steven tried to do that, and it failed horribly. And this one chose the self-sacrifice reasoning that you can't have everything you want.
And I also did really appreciate that, like, seeing the different versions. It's like, what's one constant apparently among all of these? Well, the one constant is you all fail in this one thing that's called relationship. I'm like, I like that because it bounces out, like, it really bounces off of what they were going for with his arc, but it balances out the Wanda dynamic to his. Like, I understand why some people aren't liking this film, but I think some people were literally going into this film going, need 80 cameos, I don't care about characters.
I was satisfied with the amount of cameos. I was afraid there'd be too many.
Yeah. Like,
and say 6 is more than enough. You didn't need like 1,000.
No, we needed 30.
Yeah. To be fair, actually, no, I tell a lie. We needed 7. There was one noticeably missing from there.
Yeah.
My superior Tom Cruise will be missed forever.
I thought you were gonna say the Deadpool and the containment.
Screaming
about
the
fourth wall and how he got there.
I'm not a meanie Twitter kid. No, I have culture.
But I mean, the big takeaway for me is in this is it was a character-driven film. Like, despite everything else, and
it's also, I didn't like how people were kind of like confused and mad, or not confused and mad about it didn't take itself seriously. I mean, what do you expect? It was a Raimi film. He did what he wanted to do, and I even had this conversation where I was like, I don't know why people are getting like mad. It's too comic booky. I'm like, well, it's a comic book. How more comic book can you get? Right now, it's a comic book movie. You have Doctor Strange who manifested big hands, ripped a lamppost from the ground, used it as a spear, and punctured an octopus monster, ripping an eyeball out. That's comic
people that are going like it's too comic booky are going to have a conversation with themselves, because they're not going to stop this.
Yeah, and then
the whole philosophy now is like, no, you're right. It's like it's an issue of a comic.
Yeah, it's like it's that part, the opening part, and the note battle, and I'm like, that have you read a comic book? They can be as serious as they can, or they can be as goofy as they can.
Whoa, Tristan, hold up. Read a comic book before whoa, what is this? Come on.
Tell you what, you can really tell at the minute who reads comics and who don't, because it's kind of getting wild.
It's like it goes straight back to the Batman v Superman conversation. No, Superman would do this, and every single writer and artist literally does a different take on the Zod situation, going, really? No? Like, we're kind of back at that again, coincidentally, and it's, I don't know, like, I honestly thought this film was just overall satisfactory. Like, it did pretty much everything I hoped it would do that I built up in my mind, and I stopped doing the thing where I go into a film expecting all my masturbatory fantasies to come true, so it doesn't.
I'm in a similar spot with Guardians 2 with this film. Not that I think this is like as bad as Guardians 2, but the character arcs really make this movie.
Yeah,
and I think they're quite subtle, like, especially Strange's arc in this movie. Right, it's a very subtle arc that he goes on in this, and you can kind of miss it because I did at first. But just the flip between the two of them and how they're on the same trajectory really, but one's a bit more further gone than the other, and
yeah.
Strange needs Wanda to see that and himself as well. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's honestly, that's kind of it for me as well. And I will say it hit me like watching this film. I'm like, this is only the second Doctor Strange film, but we've seen him in like 6 things. And then it kind of dawned on me, you know what? Why don't we just have a film where Doctor Strange is just doing the Doctor Strange stuff that happens? It's like we can settle into that. It's kind of like, people always just want, hey, why don't we not have to tell the origin and everything? Finally just get to live with the characters a little bit and see their, and Doctor Strange opens up with that. We see his life. Sure, he did all this and helped save the universe. His life's still terrible. Like, cool. It's nice.
And it was cool in the beginning to where, fortunately or unfortunately for that universe, that giant monsters coming to destroy things are beginning to become the norm. Where Doctor Strange just jumps out the window and people are already taking pictures or videotaping him.
Yeah. And then it's like, cool, let's just go get pizza afterwards. Like, this is just perfectly normal.
Yeah.
But this movie has some like the best suit-up sequences Marvel's ever done.
Yep.
Because every time he flicks the cape around him, it's always something different. Like at the wedding, it's the pocket square. At the end, it's the scarf, and it's like this. I like this Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I feel they nailed it. So honestly, we could probably sit here and talk about this for another like hour, and I guarantee we will over the course of the next couple months, really, as we start to hear more. Any finishing thoughts or spoilery things we can get out of the way here?
I did like the animated X-Men theme that played when Dr. Xavier came through, and I did like John as Mr. Fantastic, but I wanted to see more of him because to me it felt like he didn't have enough time to get into the role.
Yeah. Yep.
And say I am the opposite. No, I wouldn't mind if they do a cancel of Reeds and Krasinski's one of them.
Yeah.
I don't want Krasinski to be our main one because when he was talking about the incursions and I didn't buy him knowing what he was talking about. Like, it's like, yes, this was a day and a half of filming, but I put some effort into it.
I was trying to explain this to someone who was also like, I'm not sure what it was about Reed, and I kind of pointed this out. Go back to the scene of, like, let's just do the Avengers. When you have Tony Stark and Bruce Banner talking about the science, even though they are playing up their personas and they're doing that Joss Whedon dialogue, you believe that they know what they're saying. Same with Age of Ultron. You believe in what they're saying because they convince you and they come off as a smart scientist. I didn't get that here with Reed. That's my only thing. I was like, something just feels a little missing. And again, he was there for a day and a half, like you said. So, like, what could they possibly do? But, like, I just felt like there could have been a little more, it's...
So I can't remember where I saw it or who said it, but I saw someone say it felt like he was trying to be Chris Evans 2.0 and play it like a Chris Evans. It's like, that is exactly what he done, because he did, like, he felt more like a Steve Rogers than he did a Reed Richards.
Yep.
But I think it's because he with how Reed was trying to talk to Wanda, is that he was trying to reason with her instead of trying to sound smug, and that he had the right answer to this whole entire mess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that was what it was, because in the comics, even though Reed wants to do good, he's a smug. He's smug. He's not the heroic person people perceive him to be.
Yeah.
If they don't know the real Reed.
And yeah, that's also like, you bring that up as well. And yeah, there's just a couple things in there that were a little weird. I do want to kind of just mention quickly that obviously we had the post and mid-credit scenes, right? Like, everybody's talking about, okay, what happens next with Clea? Obviously, that's straight up leading to Doctor Strange 3. Like, that's where we're picking up that plot thread. So I don't know what more you could say other than they finally got Charlize Theron in there. So yes.
The only thing that really surprised me, just for final thoughts, the only thing that really surprised me was that Doctor Strange from Earth 838 started the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who starts it in the comics? I can't remember.
I cannot remember. I have to look that up, but I was surprised that it was Doctor Strange and that the Illuminati was all from one universe. But it's what can you do?
I've seen a lot of people say that, where it's like, oh, I think the impression everyone had at the start was they're like, it was a bit like What If, right, where it's the multiversal team coming together, not all from the same reality.
Mm-hmm. I have a feeling we haven't seen the proper, like the multiversal Illuminati. They're gonna save that for Secret Wars or something.
See, I don't think there is going to be one.
Really? Oh, that'd be interesting.
I think the whole point of the Illuminati here was just is to go look at what we've got coming down the line.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like, hey, here's Fantastic Four, here's mutants. Maybe we're going to do Inhumans again. You damn well better, Marvel. I need that redemption arc. You know, and all that. And it's like, hey, this is the team that this is going to give Doctor Strange the idea. Because you can see the cogs turning in his head the second Mordo says the Illuminati. It's just like, this isn't actually a bad idea.
That's true, though. Yeah, I could see that.
And also, if he's he's the only one right now from our reality. I would say mine is clear, but she's from the dark dimension. He's the only one that knows what an incursion is right now. So when one happens,
right,
he's going to know what's going on.
Exactly.
It's obviously going to be total luck that 616. That's what it is now. He's going to survive.
Just looking it up, it looks like it was after Civil War, and it looks like Iron Man first brought this idea up. Yeah, he brought it up to Mr. Fantastic, Namor, Black Bolt, and Xavier, and Panther, and Wakanda.
That makes sense.